Now to a story of baby Kamiyah. At first horrified, later captivated the nation. A child taken from her mother's hospital room as a newborn, but found 18 years later alive and well. It sounded like the ending everybody dreamed of, happily ever after. But a new interview with the girl's mother shows this is no storybook ending. Ann Schindler joins us now with details. Ann?
Well, Heather, despite the dominant narrative in this case, that of a child restored to her family after 18 years, the damage caused by the kidnapping is perhaps something that cannot be healed. The rift became clear in court at the trial of the woman who kidnapped the baby, Gloria Williams, pleading for mercy. The birth mother, Kamiyah Mobley, asking the judge for the most severe sentence of all, death. And meanwhile, the girl born Kamiyah Mobley but raised Alexis Manigault sat apart from both families. Our news partner, the Florida Times-Union, recently sat down for a rare interview with Kamiyah Mobley. This is the first local on-camera interview she's done. In it, the birth mother's devastation is palpable, unable to accept the fact that the daughter still loves the woman who raised her and stole her.
So I still lost, so what did I gain? Nothing. And honestly, I wish sometimes she would have never came back. That I do wish, because it takes a toll, because I'm a mother first. And it takes a toll on my other children. My daughter's going to the 10th grade. Well, she has to argue with people to defend her mother. She's on Facebook defending my kid, my other babies. They are babies. They shouldn't have to go out there in that world and experience that stuff. That shouldn't have to be their life. And this is what Gloria and Kamiyah brought upon my children. And I truly, really feel deep in my heart, I just wish she wouldn't have never came back. I really do.
Now at 5:30, we'll have more from that rare interview. You can also check out a podcast called Have You Seen Kamiyah? You can find a link to that on our website at firstcoastnews.com. Back to you.